Hi guys, it's Yvonne from GingerChickRehab. I'm so glad to have you back checking out what I am up to. It is hot here in Michigan, sunny. It's going to be over the 90s all week long. I need to run out of town about an hour away to pick up supplies for the workshop. So these are towns where there are other thrift stores at. So of course I'm going to take you along with me to see what's on the shelves and then stay at the end to see what items I brought home. So hopefully I picked a lucky cart. So this is my first stop and the cart's not wonky. There's not anything I need to throw away. So that's in the cart. So maybe this is a lucky cart. Right off the bat, I saw a huge white pitcher, so I have to go take a gander and see what it is. I really thought it was ironstone, but when I got closer, I noticed that it had some painting detail on it, and that sadly, it was not ironstone. Usually monkeys are cute, but I don't know. There's something about that flying monkey look from The Wizard of Oz that monkey kind of creeps me out just a wee bit. Editing this for you, I wonder if somebody knows why I keep tapping everything. Well, I wanted to know, is it ceramic? Is it wood? And this happens to be a wood duck, which I was really excited about. Ever get excited when you see something and you're like, oh, it's broken. Yeah, you can fix it, but it's just a little side table stool that unfortunately is not worth the investment. And seriously, when I picked up the bottom of this, I had to take a double take. I'm like, what did that say? Are you serious? Nothing says I don't want to buy it, like may cause food poisoning. On that note, let's move on to the next Goodwill. And I love when I see a yummy full cart that I can go through that hasn't made its way to the shelves yet. So as I'm gandering in the frame section, I was like, oh my gosh, I saw this window at a garage sale the other day. If you watched the video before this, you actually saw it. And I kind of regret not picking it up because it's an old window, but the reason I didn't is because I wouldn't have wanted to take the artwork off. I would have redone it. Now, I am a fan of Pyrex, but that had a lot of age going on there. But I did love this pottery piece, but that was out of my price range for reselling. But oh my goodness, I guess it was that much because of the fruit, but I love that pottery piece. And I'm just getting teased with pottery. I love these also. I'm not sure so much if platters sell, but they're again a little bit out of my price range. I do love that they were stamped and they're more probably towards the fall season, but I actually haven't picked up a pottery in a little while. Well, I'm getting closer to my first stop of what I need and supplies, but now there's a Salvation Army that my car just pulls right into. And this Salvation Army has the desk of Bibles that are free, so I always look to see if there's any that can go with my collection. And then they have a section of what they consider to be antiques are worth a little bit of money, so I do always go and check that out. It's not a very big section sometimes, and sometimes it's a big section, but look at those cute cups. And I'm like, are these the Keebler elves? Did all my supply stops, and now I'm back at my hometown Goodwill. My car definitely knows how to just pull in here. And it's so funny that I keep finding these little butter dishes. I don't know. I have way too many side tables that I need to get done. So walk away, Yvonne. Walk away from the side table. Darn it all. I was really curious about this little box. It had a drawer. It looks like it's a little sewing box, but I couldn't get the drawer. Yeah, if I can't pull it out, yeah, never mind. I'm just going to walk away. I'm like, what? How is it stuck in there? So it's funny, I looked at this utensil holder only because Alex is moving out at the end of the month, and I was like, oh, well, he might like that. I'm like, stop it, Yvonne. You can't keep buying stuff for your son's place that he's moving into. You have to let him choose what he wants in there. Do you all do that? It's hard as a mom not to help them out, but I walked away. I said, nope, he does enough thrifting on his own. About Alex, I saw these and I thought, oh wow, these are right up his alley of what he would pick up. So I sent him a picture, and then at first we were excited, but we found out that these were reproductions. They weren't original pieces. At least I got to match up the cup that went with it. I'm like, this should have a cup with it. So turned around into the cup section, and there was the cup. Yes, it doesn't have enough age, and apparently Homer McLaughlin had done reproductions of these, so good thing he knows. Okay, just one more shelf before I head home. You know, I have to hit every aisle twice just in case I miss something on my first time down it. So yep, stay tuned. I'm getting ready to share with you what I brought home. Okay, so not only did I have to get supplies for the shop, but I also had to go and get supplies for my hair, you all. So this is what I use on my hair. It's Diva Curl. It's for natural curly hairline. It's a no poo shampoo, which means it doesn't lather. So yes, and then I have some curl defining, and then I go through a lot of hairspray. I have like 6 still, but it's always good to grab another one. And then this is my favorite hand lotion, body lotion, and this was one that was on sale, so I always pick these up. So yeah, not only did I have to go to Menards and get other supplies, I had to get my hair stuff. If you're wondering, yes, I did pick up these 2 stools. They are solid. So $10.29 for these 2 stools. And it's almost a shame. I would like to just do them natural, but you know, I also love to do the paper, but I love how it has the slats. So we'll see what I do to there, because I'm just getting another order of Roycycle's paper. So yeah, and yes, they're white, so just a touch up, but they're nice and sturdy. So I'm sorry, I'm probably a little sweaty. Like I said, it was like 90 degrees out there today, and I tried to leave early in the morning, but I like to do stuff in the shop and have paint drying and waiting for me to complete it when I get back. So yep, I had to. My main reason I needed to go to Menards to get polycrylic and sprays, and sometimes you can buy them in bulk on Amazon. It just depends on what they have. So yes, and I needed hair supplies, and it was, anyway, because it just wanted to ship to my salon, but I'm not at my salon anymore, and it wouldn't default, but anyway, you know, it's always something. So it was meant for me to go up there, because really, if they would have shipped my hair supplies, I would have just gone locally to find what I needed. So anyway, let me share with you what I got. So I probably didn't really hide it too much this time. I'm sure you all could guess what I got, but I was just amazed. I'm used to the shelves being bare, but it was a good day. So at the first Goodwill, I did pick up that birdhouse for $4.29. We did that auction, and he bought all those birdhouses, so he would like to have birdhouses on all the little fence posts, split rail fence out back. So yeah, I thought, hey, perfect, look, a little homemade one. And then for the $8.29, I did pick up, it's wood. At first I thought it was going to be ceramic, and I usually will pass up on those. And there's actually a wooden peg in this, and it looks like the neck is a little cracked, but it's not loose, so maybe it's just cracked because with age it dried. So I love wooden ducks, so I will probably resell this one online when they're cost efficient under $10. I will usually pick them up. Just they're beautiful. I'll leave them as is. These big sides I don't like to do anything to. And then this is a Hand and Hearth Lost Socks. It's that heavy, like enamel ceramic. It's all together. Somebody must have got it and they decided they didn't like it because it's not. If it was a new purchase good that got donated to Goodwill, it'd be a pink tag, but that means somebody donated it. So for $4.29, yes, these do resell, so I will take it out of the box to resell it though. And then I did pick up these two little, they're probably missing their cloches, but for $3.29 a piece. I love little wooden rounds. I think I'm just gonna leave them as is and not build them up, but do something to them to make them look better. Sometimes risers are kind of hit and miss if they're selling or not, and sometimes people just want something flat to put their decor on. So I'm gonna leave these as is. I'm not gonna put risers. I'm not gonna put feet on them for risers. Did you see the gallon of Amazon glue? So $4.29, a brand new gallon, and I had better luck with the crackle effect. So I guess, hello, God's like, stop doing the salt technique that you keep failing on, Yvonne, and keep with your glue technique. Nothing says in your face like a gallon size of glue. So yes, I did not pass up this brand new gallon. And I did get this wire basket for $4.29. I love these little wire baskets. I'll probably put a little piece of something in there, say storage number or something. I love that it had little hangers, just a nice, simple, it's like galvanized to me wire. I can't pass it up, little cubbies. Then I did pick up these three. I know they're supposed to have pictures, but I think if you put like 1, 2, and 3, how cute if you have 3 children or animals or your fur babies. Yeah, I thought these were too cute. So they were 3 for $1.99 at the Salvation Army store I stopped at. So for $2.29, I picked up, now this is funny. So I picked up this butter dish that is like this. But like the plain long rectangular butter dishes sell for me. So I've never actually resold any of these. So I'm curious to see how these do. Because then at my hometown Goodwill, they're for $3.29, there was another butter dish. So they're like this. So I'm curious to see how well these sell since my other butter dishes, and I'd probably do the $10 just like they do the other, whichever they like. And then I toyed, but for $6.29, I did pick up the salt. I would probably do 12 to start out with to see how this one resells. I know $6.29 was probably a little pricey for resale, but I walked away and then went back and got it. Do you all do that? You're like, okay, I'm gonna regret not having it because it'll look nice. So, anything to get somebody to look at stuff in your booth. And what was this one? I think this was $3.29 also. It was just a simple bird bath. It looks like it's a Michael's. So just some simple little birdies. A little bird bath, just a little decorative piece. How sweet is that? So I'm drawn to white. I just can't, your eye likes what your eye likes. And then at my local Goodwill, I did for $1.29 get this little cross. I've sold sizes like this for $5, so this one I don't need to do anything to it. It has some ceramic on it, so I'll leave it as is. And then my last item, even though I said no more trays, here I am with a tray. That I like the handles. I like that it has little feeties on it, so it's a Hobby Lobby piece, so I'll get it repainted, maybe put some papers in it. $4.29. Yeah, I'm weak. I admit it, I am weak. So that was it for the stuff that I brought home. Thanks for going thrifting with me. I hope you enjoyed seeing what was on the shelves. I was so excited to see stuff on the shelves. So I do have a couple items that I can make over and throw into this video. So I'll go ahead and do that. So if you want to see my makeovers, stay for the rest of the video, or if that's all you wanted to see, is bye for now. Now, I was really super excited when I ran across this set. Right now, all I have in my inventory is black stools, so I would really like to add some white into the inventory. So I'm going to get started working on these two. Now for these two, I can tell that somebody just painted them and that was it. They didn't seal it in. They didn't do anything like that. I'm removing the felt pads that were placed on the bottom to not scratch up somebody's floor. So we'll get started with that and then get this washed off to get it painted. I don't believe that it will need any sanding because it's really dirty because it was not sealed in. So if you don't seal something in, a lot of times it will attract the dirt, especially when it comes to your white paint. Now that I got them all cleaned up, I want to keep the top natural. So I'm going to go ahead and tape off that outer rim to protect it from spraying. I have the one side sprayed up and it's dry. I need to flip them over and get the area that didn't get touched by the first spray. And I'm using my Kills paint and primer in the flat white and my TrueCoat 360 handheld sprayer. I just love using this for spindles like this. Remember, we talked about sealing our white paint in, so this is white. It is all dried now. I'm going in with some spray polycrylic to seal this white paint to help prevent stains and marks from happening. That my polycrylic is dry, I can start sanding on the top. I need to get the manufacturer's top coat off the top of this, and these do have some not too many marks, and they're not too awful dirty, but I just really want to get that top coat and get down to that bottom wood. So not only will I be starting off with an 80 grit to help remove the top coat, I'll go around those outer edges also. Do you all want to check out my new shipment of decoupage paper with me? Oh my goodness, I am so excited. I just got this from Royce's store on Zazzle. So let me share some of these with you. When I'm ordering from Zazzle, this tissue paper, which is a little bit thinner than what the decoupage paper is, but the patterns are just awesome. And I will link it down below. I do have an affiliate link now hooked up with this. Okay, now that we got some window shopping done, I hope I've tempted you. Oh my gosh, that paper is gorgeous. So I'm super excited to use half of the sheets. That is the one thing I like about a lot of her sheets, is that a lot of times you can use them on 2 separate projects. They're so cost efficient. So I actually had ordered this, not even getting those stools. So what perfect timing to have it come and then get those stools. Oh my goodness. So perfect. Now, no, the paper does not fit the stool completely, but that's okay. The fun is to make this paper look like it has been worn off with time. So I'm just going to make a general cut, guesstimating my circle area on this tissue paper to cut it down. Now that I have my guesstimated circle, I'm going to go in with my mouse sander, and on the tip and on the edge. Now this is tissue paper, so be very careful. You can do that water technique also, where you just rip it with a little bit of a paintbrush and watering the edges. But I'm right here in my shop, and I like to have it really be that worn look, but you got to be really careful on tissue paper. I'm just warning you all. See how quickly it will just demolish it. So I'm not really like you're going to sand wood. I'm just letting it just ever so slightly touch, and it's okay. Yep, see how it ripped it? That's okay. I want it to look worn. That is my vision. And yeah, well, that one fell off, but it'll be okay. I'll just clean up this circle a little bit more. So now that I have that done, it's the perfectly imperfect, remember. So now I'm just eyeballing, not necessarily centering in it. I'm centering around what my paper is. Now I'm going to be gluing it, attaching it to this top. So I'm just using some polycrylic, putting a thin coat down, and then I will put my paper down. Now this is tissue paper, so you're not really going to see this as white as it is. As I'm laying it down, you'll see that outer edge kind of disappear. After making sure that my outer edge is all adhered down, I am putting a nice thin coat over the top of the paper while this is still wet on the bottom. Ahead and sealed in this entire top with the polycrylic, including the sides. And now that polycrylic is good and dry, and see how it just looks like it has been worn off with time, but you can kind of feel the texture of the paper where it bunched up or there's some wrinkles or what have you. So what I'm doing right now is taking some 220 sandpaper and making sure that everything is nice and smooth. Because the tissue paper is a little bit more blendy than I would like it to be, but that's okay. I don't want it to be in your face by any means. So I'm just taking a little bit of antiquing wax and actually a wet wipe. I don't want it to completely make this dark, just a little bit. And then I'm going to wipe off that excess and see how it just touches those outer edges just a little bit. And now I'm going to go in and seal that in with some couple coats of polycrylic. I want to make sure that that paper stays on there, and that you don't really touch the paper. So I just keep spraying until I feel that smooth coat of polycrylic, letting it dry in between the layers. So yes, this is just a nice tray, and I really like the handles on this. So let's get the tags removed, see if I can take this hardware off and get this painted up. I'm glad I spent so much time taking those little nuts off this hardware, only to find out that no, I can't remove the hardware. It is in there. Well, fine then, I'll just get it cleaned up and have to tape off those handles. So now this is press board, the MDF board. A lot of it is actually unfinished, and as you see, all the white paint just easily marked up yet again, and there's not any top coat on this white paint. So I'm going to go in with this red primer. This primer works really good for this type of MDF board. I want to get this all sealed in and even out the porosity of this piece, meaning the way that it will accept the paint. With the undercoat of that primer, this just painted up beautifully. And actually, I am going to go ahead and distress it. This had that texture. I wasn't going to try to even out a texture on an MDF board. So I am going to go ahead and sand it. And I'm using a 150 piece of sandpaper, hoping to get back down underneath that primer to get down to that natural wood. This wasn't my original plan at all when I thrifted this tray, that by chance I am like, I wonder if that other half of that tissue paper will fit in here. And look at here. This is going to be a easy flip. Yes, it almost, there's a wee bit off, but I don't think that really matters. This paper is going to fit inside here perfectly. So I'm going to do that same thing that I did with the stools of using the polycrylic to glue it in. Not only will I do a few coats of the polycrylic spray on the paper, but I'm going to also spray the entire tray to protect that. And I will if I feel any texture, I can go over a little bit with some steel wool, but usually that fine mist evens out. Okay, so I fibbed when it came to these rounds. I said I'm not going to glue any feet onto them, but I was hot and sweaty at the time. So, nope, I decided that I am going to put some of these knobs that I get off of Amazon, and I am going to rise them up a little bit. And when it comes to rounds, you don't always have to put 4 feet on. 3 is plenty to make it stable. So to glue these on, you notice that I flipped the close side down so you don't have that rim on the top. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue them inside the circle. I don't want to have it half on and half off, so I want to go inside that circle. And I'm just using the Titebond Quick and Thick to adhere these. So now I'd like to paint the bottom of this white. So the knobs are raw wood, and then this little cloche I know is going to bleed through and make my white paint not a pretty color. So I taped off that outer rim the best as I can. and then did a couple coats of shellac to prevent and even out that porosity. And then I'm using that same Kills paint and primer in my TrueCoat sprayer to spray the bottom of these. Kind of like a rinse and repeat here. So sealing the white paint in with the polycrylic. Nope, I'm not doing any distressing on these pieces. And I'm not flipping it over. I'm not worried about getting that top edge. I tried my best to cover what I could cover of those little knobs. Well, I protected what I could with that paint. You see it still got overspray. But I wasn't worried about that because I knew that I wanted to sand this down, get the original finish off, take it down to the raw wood. So I'll just take my sander just like I did on the stool tops and go along the edge to get not only the paint but the finish off of these. Now to remove the paint and the top coat and the finish on these, I used an 80 grit. So I need to work up to make these nice and smooth by going to a 150 and then going to a 220 so that they are nice and smooth. Sometimes when you're working on a piece, you don't really have the exact finish in mind. So at first I thought I'll just polycrylic these and call them good. But I'm like, you know, I feel like they need a little something. That wood, after I got that finish off, is so pretty. I kind of was thinking an industrial vibe, which is usually the black and the wood. But this has the white. So I thought, you know what? I have these random numbers and letters from Amazon, the small pack that I've used before. So I'm just going to come up with a random combination of numbers, kind of give it that I've been made out of an old box type of look, and just stamp these onto the sides of these little risers. After getting them in place and doing my best to line them up, I'm just using a piece of packing tape to grab onto them. And now I'll fold over the little edges to make myself some handles. I'm going to get them inked up with some IOD black ink. Now these are almost like I bought them to use in impressions in clays, so they might grab onto the side just a little bit. I'll try to be really careful, but I sanded the wood, so if I make any mistakes, I can just sand that area off. Yep, I had to go back in and stamp that 7. I guess I didn't press hard enough on it to get it to imprint into the wood. But now I'd like to make a slash in between in the space that I left. So I'm kind of looking at what I have and these letters and numbers. And I think I'm going to use the top of the I and try just to get that top line. We'll see how it works. But I remember I said this is raw wood, so I could just take some sandpaper and clean it up. Yep, I said this is the rinse and repeat. Yep, so now I'm going to go in with a coat of polycrylic, let that dry, put another coat on, and sand if I feel any texture with some steel wool. So thanks for watching today's video, and as always, give me a quick comment. What was your favorite find that I found when I was out thrifting, and what one of the items were your favorite that I made over? And again, thank you for being part of our YouTube family. And if you are new and you're checking out this content for the first time and you liked what you saw, please hit that subscription button along with the notification bell so you know when we've uploaded a new video. And we will see you next time, guys, and you can see what we're up to. Bye.